The Denver Nuggets are finally going to the NBA Finals for the first time in franchise history, and it has been quite the journey for them to get here. For many years throughout the 2000s, this team was pretty mediocre, but everything changed when they drafted this tall player out of Serbia. In this video, I'm going to walk through the full timeline of how this Nuggets team went from almost having nothing to what they are now. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. I'm on the road to 10k subscribers, and we are just growing super fast right now. Alright, so this video is going to start off 10 years ago in 2013. This was a season where the Nuggets were actually very good with 57 wins and were the 3 seed in the West. Unfortunately though, they were upset by the 6 seed Golden State Warriors, and head coach George Karl was fired even with winning Coach of the Year. The team also hired Timm Connely as their new GM. Then in the next year's draft, they traded away the rights of their pick to Utah, which ended up being Rudy Gobert. Also, they traded away Andre Igoudala to the Warriors. The team was really trying to reset some things after being upset like they were in the playoffs. After making a few of these trades, the Nuggets quickly got back to below 500 and finished the 2014 season with 36 wins and were the 11th seed. Then in the 2014 NBA draft, Denver got insanely lucky and in the second round drafted a player named Nikola Jokic from Serbia, and it's just kind of funny how things worked out because the Nuggets had 2 first-round picks in that draft who ended up being Gary Harris and Jusuf Nurkic. Not that those picks were bad, but nobody ever ends up drafting an MVP in the 40s of the draft. Jokic was also just a Euro stash at the time, so he wasn't even on the roster. So basically, 2015 was just a developing year for some of the rookies, and after a 20-39 start to the season, head coach Brian Shaw was fired and Melvin Hunt was hired. The Nuggets didn't finish the season much better and only got 30 wins, and to make things even worse with the 7th pick in the draft, they picked Emmanuel Mudiay, who turned out to be a bust. But hey, you win some and you lose some, and since they got Jokic in the second round, they were due to miss on some picks. Denver then also traded away Ty Lawson for a whole lot of nothing. Going into 2016, the Nuggets did figure out the core they wanted to start building around, and Nikola Jokic was already in the starting lineup with Gallinari, who was coming off an injury. Jokic averaged 10 and 7 in that season, which isn't anything crazy, but he was just getting his legendary Hall of Fame career started. In the 2016 draft, the Nuggets once again had a lot of early first round picks and ended up taking Jamal Murray, Juan Hernan-Gomez, and Malik Beasley. It's actually quite rare that all 3 picks turn out to be solid NBA players, but for the Nuggets, that's just what happened, and Jamal Murray was a monster pick. Going into the 2017 season, this Denver team finally had some playoff expectations on them because of all the young talent they had stashed up through the draft. They almost even had too much, and that is why they ended up trading away Jusuf Nurkic to Portland. Unfortunately, the Nuggets ended up just missing the playoffs as the 9 seed this season, but progress was being made, and Jokic was starting to develop into a great player, and most importantly, a great passer for a big man. In 2017, the Nuggets traded the rights of their 13th pick to Utah, who then drafted Donovan Mitchell, and man, even though you never know how things would have worked out, I couldn't even imagine Denver with Murray, Spida, and the Joker. But at the end of the day, all of that is woulda, coulda, shoulda, and this team turned out just fine. The Nuggets also traded away Gallinari and brought in Paul Millsap on a big 3-year, $90 million deal. The Nuggets really wanted to make sure that the Joker had a perfect sidekick and also a mentor. In the 2017 and 18 season, the Nuggets improved rapidly and got 46 wins and somehow missed the playoffs due to a super stacked West, and I know that pissed them off. The Nuggets later that offseason ended up signing Nikola Jokic to a huge supermax contract that would make him the cornerstone of the franchise. They also drafted Michael Porter Jr. with the 14th pick, who was an absolute sniper. In the 2019 season, the Nuggets absolutely took off and finished with 54 wins as the 2nd seed in the West. Unfortunately, they then ended up losing to the Trailblazers in 7 games that year, but at the end of the day, with Kevin Durant being a snake and playing for the Warriors, it didn't really matter anyways. In the next offseason, Denver also decided to lock up Jamal Murray on a max contract, and they pretty much now had their core set in stone contract-wise. 2019 and 20 was of course the pandemic year, and the Nuggets ended up finishing the season as the 3 seed, and everyone knows about Bubble Murray, and man, he was just so much fun to watch for that playoff run, and they overcame 2 3-1 deficits, which is just impossible. Basically for Denver, they had the talent since 2018 to win it all, but it was just constant waiting over and over again to get the right opportunity. In 2021, dunk contest star Aaron Gordon was traded over to them from the Orlando Magic, and this trade of course ended up being a way bigger deal than it seemed. Gordon became the right-hand man that Jokic was looking for his whole career, and he's the guy that Denver wanted Paul Millsap to be. Unfortunately, 2021 and 22 were not meant to be for the Nuggets, with Jamal Murray being seriously injured, but on the bright side, Nikola Jokic turned himself into a legendary superstar and won back-to-back MVPs. Coming into 2023, the Nuggets knew they were eventually going to get Jamal Murray back, and this was the year they were finally looking to stay healthy and make a big run. Jokic absolutely dominated the whole entire season and absolutely deserved his 3rd MVP, but the NBA ended up gifting it to Embiid because he whined and begged for it. Jokic of course ended up getting the last laugh anyways, because the Nuggets became the hottest team in the league during the playoffs, and as everybody knows, they just recently clinched their first NBA Finals appearance in franchise history, and I just couldn't be happy for the city and the fans. They waited patiently for a long time and truly trusted the process. I really think the Nuggets are gonna win the finals this year, and if you're just a pure basketball fan, then you probably love every bit of this team. They just have so much chemistry, they move the ball around, they shoot the lights out, and of course can dominate inside the paint when they need to with Jokic. That's really all I have to say for this video. It has been quite the journey for this Denver team, and it would be awesome to see them win this city's first NBA title. This video was so much fun to make because I didn't even realize how much this team did to get to where they are now over the last 10 years. Let me know in the comments below if you think this team is gonna win the finals and in how many games, because I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say. I just can't wait to see how things unfold, because this season has been a blast, and these finals better be more entertaining than the conference finals. Anyways, thank you all so much if you made it to this point in the video, and if you haven't yet, make sure to like and subscribe. Also comment below what you would like to see next. Make sure to stay tuned for more videos in the future with the season wrapping up, and until next time, I will see you all later.